So I've just watched the BBC News and I can't believe my ears. So I want to show you it and then discuss it a little bit. Listen to this.
Labour has called the claims false and offensive. Employees from ethnic minority groups earned on average 4% less than their white counterparts last.
Did you hear that? I'll play it again. This is the BBC for you. Listen carefully. Employees of ethnic minorities.
His circle are anti-Semitic and had allowed their allies to attack Jews. Labour has called the claims false and offensive.
Here we go.
Employees from ethnic minority groups earned on average 4% less than their white counterparts last year.
Employees from ethnic minorities earn 4% less than their counterparts last year. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth, the BBC. Okay? That's what they said. Sounds racist to me. We must be horrible people here in Britain paying poor old ethnic minorities 4% less than everybody else. Now, let her carry on.
The figures published by the Office for National Statistics are part of the first detailed analysis of Britain's ethnicity pay gap. Workers from Pakistani and Bangladeshi ethnic groups had the lowest average hourly pay, while Chinese and Indian workers consistently had the highest of any ethnic group. Our correspondent Adina Campbell reports.
Sorry? Sorry, wait a minute.
A new generation.
Did you just say people from Chinese and Indian ethnicities had the highest pay of any ethnic group? But I thought you just said ethnic minorities because we're horrible racists. It was ethnic minorities that get paid less. So are Chinese and Indian people not an ethnic minority? I thought we were horrible racists. Are we horrible racists or are we not horrible racists? I'm just trying to clarify, BBC, which is it? Let's listen again, just to clarify.
By the Office for National Statistics are part of the first detailed analysis of Britain's ethnicity pay gap. Workers from Pakistani and Bangladeshi ethnic group.
Workers from Bangladeshi and Pakistani ethnic group are the worst paid.
Had the lowest average hourly.
Because we're horrible racists. But can we be horrible racists if...
Pay, while Chinese and Indian workers consistently had the highest of any ethnic group. Our correspondent...
Even higher than whites. So Chinese and Indian people are earning more than whites. It's not because of racism. It's nothing to do with their skin colour. It's because they work harder. You fucking...
A new generation of graduates. Today, these young people at Bath University are celebrating their academic achievements. And many will go on to be part of Britain's future workforce. But according to a new report, some of these graduates could see differences in pay because of their ethnicity.
So they're actually stating it's because of their ethnicity that they're getting paid differently. I mean, this is how low the BBC scum, dirty smear merchants go. That they're saying that it's actually because of their ethnicity that they're getting paid less. Couldn't be anything to do with the kind of job that they pick, or that they've got better qualifications, or that they're prepared to work more hours, or that they're more focused. Couldn't be anything to do with that, or they've got better family encouragement and support. Could be nothing to do with any of these things, simply because of their skin colour. That's what the BBC want you to understand. It's because the British people are horrible racists. That's what they're trying to tell us. That's what they're consistently, constantly telling us, rubbing right in our faces, shoving it down our throats.
But according to a new report, some of these graduates could see differences in pay because of their ethnicity. So what does the ethnicity pay gap actually mean? If you line up all the workers in Britain in order of their pay, it's how the salary of the white person in the middle compares with that of the ethnic minority person also in the middle. So it's not just about whether white people and ethnic minorities are getting equal pay for equal work, but also to what extent ethnic minorities are joining and progressing to better paid jobs.
I guess we could hopefully see that gap close. That would be nice. And in addition to that, feeling like, obviously, when you're applying for jobs and you have to choose your ethnic identity, you don't worry about, okay, is this going to disqualify me for the job?
Let me tell something to any ethnic minorities that are out there listening to this. Nobody gives a fuck what colour you are. Nobody cares anymore. The only reason they might care is because you pull shit like this on us all the time, blaming us for any discrepancy, any disparity. Lo and behold, people are different. People get paid different amounts. People have different skills. People are better at different things than other people of different kinds. I mean, for God's sake, can we just cut this crap out? Nobody cares.
The fact that it's changing, obviously, is a good sign. Obviously, you can say that it changing faster would be nicer.
The new report found
Change fast would be nicer. So obviously, government interference, regulation, that's always the end result, isn't it?
Higher, with a pay gap of
and then it's prejudiced against whites.
If we look at hourly pay, white workers will earn £12, compared with just £9.60
for people poor ethnic minorities get paid less.
And those from Chinese families earn much more.
Chinese and Indians get paid much more.
An hour. This is the first time we have a clearer.
Do you think I'm going to complain that Chinese and Indian people, on average, on aggregate, are getting paid more than me because, and if somehow I'm going to compute that as it's because I'm white and that they're a different ethnicity or they're brown, that they're getting paid more? No. So why should people do it at the other end of the spectrum because they're people who are black or whatever getting paid less than whites think it's because they're black and it's because we're white we're getting paid more? This proves their whole narrative, but they're still shoving it in our face. This is how they report it, as though it's just, of course, we're racist. They're brown, they get paid less, of course they do, they're ethnic minorities. Can we just cut this nonsense out?
What the race pay gap looks like in the UK. A big difference is that people from ethnic minorities tend to be younger than their white colleagues, and their career choice may be a reason why they earn less.
Oh, so there might be other reasons involved. There might be other factors.
The types of jobs they're choosing, and also educational
Lo and behold.
to pinpoint exactly where change is needed.
Change isn't fucking needed, that's the point.
Some companies such as PwC are already voluntarily publishing ethnicity pay gap data, and senior leaders say the transparency is making a big difference.
When you publish it, you've got to put some real.
Yeah, we have to shame people. We have to make people look bad, even though it's nothing to do with racism or their ethnicity. It's to do with 100 other factors that account for the discrepancies or disparity.
As the UK becomes more culturally rich,
more culturally rich, because we have more brown people, we're richer.
for all employers to publish their ethnicity.
Of course, less white is better. Less white is always better.
To ensure broad fairness for the changing faces in multicultural Britain. Adina Campbell, BBC
Jesus
News.
Christ.
It's called a.
Honestly, BBC, you're making us worse. You're making the situation worse. You're making people like me infuriated with the daily indoctrination, trying to push this down our throats, telling us whites are bad, browns are good, and wanting the government always to interfere to try and at the end of the day be more prejudiced against whites in order that things might appear more equal. You might get equity. I'm not even equal to myself on different days. Why should different peoples be equal to each other? For God's sake, would you just drop it? Nobody cares anymore what somebody's skin colour is, okay? I don't care if you think I'm swearing a lot in this. This infuriates me. Good night.